You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that's suitable for all ages from 2 and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and this week, dearest listeners, which is to say, obviously, you're all dearest listeners, unless any of you are deers, in which case, I guess you're listenerist deers. Do deers listen to this show? I thought loud noises scare deer, so they probably wouldn't like this show. It wouldn't be very good for them, would it? It would just scare them all the time. I mean, this show is full of loud noises. Exactly. I wasn't expecting that one, but exactly. Linda, what was that loud noise, Linda? No, I didn't think she'd know. But I guess that's probably all of the dear listeners scared away, isn't it? And the Coyotes listeners. And the bear listeners. Well, sorry to all of you, if you were listening. But this show is just sometimes loud. And today, for some reason, it seems even louder than normal. Yeah, that's really strange. Well, what I was going to say, dearest listeners, and obviously not listenerist dears, is that I don't have any choice this week but to look in the mailbag, as you lot have sent in so many messages. So let's dive in. That's not the usual mailbag noise. What is going on? Right, never mind. This is a review on Apple Podcasts from Snow Leopard. Wow, an actual snow leopard. They are very hard to spot, and one has written in a review of this show, so that's amazing. Thanks, Snow Leopard. And they say, I heart this pod. It is so super funny, sending you lots and lots and lots and lots more really sticky hippos. I also didn't need my stinky melon for this. And they've also sent in a question too, which has been added to the question pile. Well, thanks, Snow Leopard. I didn't really want any more, sticky hippos. I don't want sticky hippos. They just get stuck to things. It's even worse than stinky hippos. Oh, no, they've arrived. And, they're really sticky, and they also really stink. What have you been feeding them? What do you mean you didn't need your stinky melon? Sorry, I'm going to have to hold my nose for this. They are disgusting. Stinky melon is the only thing that stinky hippos eat. I have no idea what sticky hippos eat. Probably something horrible and sticky like toffee. But I worry you fed these ones something else. You've created some sort of uber sticky hippo. Oh, gosh, I have to say, I wish I could throw my nose away. These hippos are stuck to everything. I wish I could throw them away. But obviously, thanks for your review, I think. Oh, maybe that was someone else's nose falling off. Hard to tell. All right, I've got to move away from this, but it's disgusting. Oh. Right, that's better. Okay, then there is this Apple Podcast review from Leah in the US of A, who says, nice pod. Thanks, Leah. One question, though, is who is Linda? In my cat's opinion, your podcast is literally nonsense. Lol. I don't think so, though. I hope you get lots and lots of subscribers and lots of good reviews. Oh, well, thanks, Leah. I mean, you've just left us a good review, so thank you very much for that. That's lovely. Very interesting question about Linda. I mainly wonder where Linda is, not who Linda is, because, I know she's Linda. Don't I? Do I? Maybe she isn't Linda at all. Oh, I might have to think about that. Trevor, what do you think, Trevor? Okay, well, she's not Trevor, or she'd have replied, wouldn't she? And Leah, of course your cat doesn't like this show. They probably prefer the Comedy Club for Kits podcast, Radio Cat Sense. And I would not listen to that, because the hosts never show up when you want them to, and it's really boring. Okay then, one more for now. What is that? Anyway, this is from Strawberry Shortcake Cats, also in the USA, so maybe they know Leah. I mean, it's only a little country, isn't it, America? I'm sure everyone knows everyone else there. Hang on, Strawberry Shortcake Cats. Maybe this is Leah's cat writing an Apple Podcast review. They say, Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of question marks. So questionable that I loved it. Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm pleased that the questionable nature of this show is a very good thing. It's probably questionable because you're a cat, possibly even several cats made of strawberry shortcake. And I can't even imagine how you'd listen to a podcast, let alone understand one. So very well done, and thank you for the nice words. So weird. That plus the horrible, uber stinky, sticky hippo smell is making me feel very strange. So, very quickly, if you'd like to send in a message to the show, or you have a question that needs to be answered, please get your idle dunderheads, sorry, I mean grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Or you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a message at the Spotify Q&A, and I do get them all. Yes, I do. So if you sent a question, it has been added to the question pile. Don't you worry about it. It is there. Yes, indeed. If your grown-ups fancy supporting this show, they can sign you up to the advert free, but otherwise exactly the same, although you do get it one day earlier. Linda edition on Acast Plus, patreon.com/Comedy Club for Kids, or Apple Podcasts. I guess I have to keep calling it the Linda edition, don't we? It's definitely not the Trevor edition. Something I have to look into. Do also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows and videos. Oh, and don't forget last week's competition. There's still a few weeks left to enter that competition by sending in your own made-up Doctor joke to the usual email, and you could win a copy of the very funny book from Adam Kay and Henry Packer called Dexter Proctor, the 10-Year-Old Doctor. And it is only for those of you in the UK or Ireland. And if you are a deer or a bear or a coyote, I'm afraid you can't enter either. And lastly, this podcast is now on YouTube as well. I'm not sure if it's on my tube. It's definitely on yours. And it's not like a video. It's just that you can listen to it on there. I'm not really sure what the point is either. But, hey, go and have a look. Okay, I need to find out just what on earth is going on. So while I do that, you listen to this most importantest bit.
The background music is so loud, they can't hear what the actors are saying.
I am very excited that today, back on the podcast, it's the return of Rob Kemp, aka Rob, who has 57 uncles and they're all called Bob, aka R. Kemps, notorious for stealthily changing air conditioning temps, and as all of our listeners who have very, very creaky doors know you, you are very well known, Rob, for asking the world's wildest rivers to calm it down a bit, for finally discovering Blackbeard's treasure, saying it was a bit meh and swapping it for some stickers and a packet of gum, and most famously, for running the world's first anti-spa where people who are too relaxed go to get really stressed out. Rob, it is lovely to have you back. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You missed out a Rob, by the way. I'm Rob. Yeah, I'm Rob with all the uncles. It's no big deal.
So sorry.
It's no big deal. I just thought I'd mention it in case, whoever your researcher is, that's all. I'm just have a word.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. You're right. Actually, I tend to go through about a researcher a month because they normally get something wrong, and then I have to fire them, get in a new researcher who obviously doesn't have any experience as a researcher, so then they're quite rubbish. Then I have to fire them again and get someone. I mean, it's a quite a boring process. I should probably do it myself. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, no, I mean, that 1 hour aside, be kind to them because that 1 hour aside, that was all bang on the money. Yeah.
Yeah, I've already
fired. It's weird to hear your life laid out in front of you like
that. Yeah, I'm afraid. I know you say be kind. I gave them a look just now. They're already gone. So it's just how it works at Radio Nonsense. We're very strict with rules and facts. You have to get the facts right. I just hadn't realised you were Rob. Wow, I can't believe I missed a Rob. I mean, does that happen to you a lot?
Well, it's because right. I wouldn't make a big old point of it, but you see, it was my great grandfather's name, and I was named for him. Well, he was just called R, and my grandfather was called Ob, and my dad was called Rob. So with me being Rob as well, I was named for all of them, and it feels a little bit disrespectful not to include them.
Of course. And are you only named after those? Is that the furthest grandparent back that you're named after, or are you named after kind of all of them? But it just goes on a bit too long.
You see, I mean, arguably, I'm also named by the great because, as you could tell, the name got shorter going back. He was a silence.
Wow.
He felt like he was either being ignored or greeted all the time. So
yeah.
So so I am kind of named for him in the gaps, which is out of order, but is also a nod towards him. Yeah.
It's
So
nice. I mean, so really, to properly respect you, I either need to be doing a pause before we say your name, or is it a pause after we say your name, like a minute's silence?
I think, like I say, I think it's intent. I think intent is the important factor when it comes to respect. I think somebody, like, I can say terrible things to my best friend, and he knows that I love him dearly.
Yes.
And
How
it's
do you
all
do
said in
it?
fun.
How do you do it? Do you say at the end of it, smiley face? Like, how do you do it to make sure they know it's a joke?
I hold an arm up.
Right.
Some of the time. Sometimes I just give him a bit of a or other times I leave him guessing. But we're friends, so he knows.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Because I know, like, there's sort of ways online that people can go like, I hate you and you smell, smiley face, and everyone goes, oh, it's a joke, 'cause there's a smiley face. But in real life, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah, in fact, if anything, if you smile at the end of an insult, it just makes you seem more sinister.
That's true, isn't it? It's very
And
villain. It's very
yeah.
next level super villain. Yeah, yeah. I hate you and you smell. Yeah, it's cruel.
As far as the tampering with air conditioning temperatures, honestly, that just started out as a hobby.
Yes, but you're so good at it because, I think what people fail to realise is, anyone can tamper with air conditioning temps, but you've done it for entire office buildings and hotels and theme parks, and you've changed the temperature across quite large areas rather quickly.
Well, I mean, the thing is, a job doesn't feel done until you've done the whole map. I don't know if there's anybody out there, like a gamer, who likes completion and gets all the trophies and everything. But until you've fully changed until you've made the full complement of staff feel uncomfortable, only slightly enough, or comfortable. I mean, I'm not a monster. Like,
so you're doing it for their benefit.
The problem is, I'm also a man driven by first impressions. So, essentially, my approach to a particular building or a particular environment does depend mainly on how I'm greeted by the receptionist.
Right.
So, if I feel like my business actually is welcome, and if they will be with me shortly, then I'll go, oh, okay, well, I think everybody deserves to be a bit more comfortable, and then that's how I decide that. But
if they don't
don't
make you feel welcome, what happens?
If they don't show me where the coffee machine is, well, beside those people, they're not going to be warm and or cold.
Wow.
They're going to be somewhere in between.
That's all.
Did you know there's a random setting? Did you know there's a random setting?
Random setting.
On
so you
air
can just
conditioners.
I didn't is it like shuffle on sort of music apps where, like, you can does it just sort of shuffle through temperatures?
Yeah
So
it's
people
like,
go through the
in fact,
extremes, right?
I say random. It's more like, on keyboards, on musical keyboards, or like stereo systems, where you can put it on demo.
Yes, yeah, demo setting.
It's the demo setting, and it just sort of it shows you what the system can do. And by the way, I don't want to get out there to John, and those other guys that I'm just setting all of the systems to demo. I've put a lot of effort into it. All right.
Yeah, sure. And I think you're doing a very important thing, because a lot of these times, I mean, for a start, I should say, air conditioning units are not particularly good for the environment. And also, often you go into these buildings and go, this is freezing, or this is too warm. And you're going in there and you're actually going, do you know what? I'm just going to make everyone real comfortable. And I think that's a nice place to be.
I suppose that ultimately is the goal of an air conditioner.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I'm just going by the wishes of the inventor.
But here's what confuses me, Rob, because, like, if you buy a hair conditioner, it makes your hair, like, super strong. But if you buy air conditioner, it doesn't make the air. I suppose it makes it strong. Like it can make it quite strong, actually, can't it?
It's turned all the way up. You don't want to stand right in front of one. No,
yeah, that's
no,
true.
no,
It is
no.
strong air. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Can you get air shampoo then?
Air shampoo? Yes, although they've gone for the rather more boring. I mean, would you put hair filter on your head?
A hair filter on my head. I suppose I would. Would it filter out sort of the rubbish hair and like nits and stuff?
Maybe, because that's my understanding of hair shampoo in an air conditioner.
Right. yeah, that's
It's the filter, isn't
I think
it?
that makes sense.
It's the
Yeah.
filter. Although, you know what? Big shampoo. The corporations that run that game, I think they're having us on a bit, because an air filter, you can clean it, can't you? You can reuse it, get all the
true.
lint and dust and grot out of it and bugs and what have you, and put it back in and go again. You can't reuse shampoo, not as far as I see, and I reckon that's where they make their money. You know?
Yeah, I wonder, can you not like try and squeeze your head into a bucket when you've shampooed your hair? Then you could squeeze your head into a bucket, and then you could maybe pour that through a sieve, and then you could re-put it on your head again. Is that a bit too much effort?
It does feel, mind you. I mean, Greta Thunberg, she'd thank us.
Yes, she would thank us.
She would thank us if we.
She would thank us. Mm-hmm.
If we did try to make more use of the shampoo we use.
Well, I think all the listeners to this show, you know, they would thank it. They'd be like, "Thank you, you've saved the planet by reusing that bit of shampoo 400 times." So, you know, I think that's just doing our bit, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You've got to do a bit like I do. I don't know how what you do, but I recycle a lot, and by that I mean I cycle one way and then I go back the same way again, then I do it again and again, and
Well,
at the
I mean,
end I'm quite tired, but I think it's good.
That
for
is
the planet.
it is good for the planet, but also it means that you're not always somewhere else.
Yes.
Like,
yes, very important.
People call it recycling, but it is just going home, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. It is just going home, and that's quite good, because then by not being somewhere else, I'm not polluting somewhere else.
Yeah, and you're
polluting
not
within my own home. Yeah.
You're not, buying that coffee in a throwaway cup. You're going home and using your cups.
That's true. And reusing my shampoo and releasing natural gas emissions within my own home, not out into the atmosphere.
Are you?
Yes. As I try and save them to do it within a safe environment. Yeah, so it can go through the air filtration system and come out cleaner. Isn't that what we should be doing?
We should be doing that.
I think that's how we make the world better. Is if we only fart into air conditioning units,
everybody stays home.
Yeah, everyone stays home farting.
Stay home farting. I think we've got to the bottom of it. Everything, anybody's feeling terrible or the world is in a disarray is because of all of our liberal attitude to farting.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But they don't. Oh, go on.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, this is the arguably this is why I'm trying to put a stop to spas, because everybody being all relaxed, they just let them go, don't they? They let them go.
That's true. That's very true.
And
yes.
I just think that this relaxation thing, feeling at ease, it's gone on far enough. It's yeah, sure. Have a day off. Maybe eat a cake, but don't this whole getting somebody to rub your shoulders and put you in a hot, steamy room. I mean, there's no need for any of that. You need someone to be. Essentially, I'm suggesting you join the army. You need someone shouting at you. You need to be getting up early, having someone shout at you, and being crawling through mud, getting in difficult situations. Maybe having your life at risk, being shot at. That's The
Wow.
anti-spa. Join the army.
Yes. So if you turn up to the anti-spa, you're essentially just enlisting in the army, and that's what's because I heard you had a special treatment where people lie back in a dark room and then you just shout stressful things at them until they feel awful.
Yeah. They fill in a long survey before the treatment starts, which in and of itself, filling in forms, stressful.
That's really stressful, yeah, especially if it's long. That's awful, yeah.
It's long, and there's no tick boxes. You've got to write your answers.
Oh no!
And the pen has got one of those intermittent ink things where you sort of have to go over what you've already done over and over and over. It's optimum conditions. I've mucked around with the temperature as well. So that you fill in the form, and then when you go in, we sort of make sure that the things that are said to you are the most stressful you can be. There is one minor detail you did get a bit wrong there, is that it's a dark room. It's not a dark room. It's very, very, very bright light.
Of course it is. Of course, this sounds awful. Yeah.
The flickers. It's basically the sort of lighting they have in a McDonald's restaurant.
Yes, that's always the brightest light, isn't it? Which is funny because you'd think that for an eating establishment, you shouldn't be quite so stressed and under bright lights, but they really want you to leave as quickly as possible.
They want you to leave. Yeah. You've got your money, please go away.
Yeah, here's some fries, leave. Yeah.
I'm surprised they still offer eating, if I'm honest. Go away.
That's true, isn't it? Maybe they need a little conveyor belt that you go up to the till, grab your food, and it immediately then takes you back outside again.
Maybe they should. But then, again, you see, part of me thinks that's offering way too much convenience.
Oh, that's true, yeah. That's true. You want it to be more stressful than that.
If I was a restaurant, if I was running a restaurant, so the waiters would be rude. The table would be dirty, but not in a way that was enough for you to complain about.
Sure, that makes sense.
You'd feel really petty to complain about it, but you're aware that it hasn't really been given the full, and you're not. You feel a little unease. Your chair does wobble a little bit and creaks with every movement. Oh, and the seat is leather, so it sounds like you're trumping with every motion. Everybody's a little bit too close together. I would copy the lighting. And I haven't really decided on a menu. Any thoughts on how I could make a menu stressful?
It's got to have nothing anyone wants on it, so you're always forced for the only choice that you think you might. Like that. I mean, I'm vegetarian, and I find that I get stressed when I go to a restaurant and the only option is a goat's cheese tart or a risotto, and they haven't bothered putting anything else on there. And I think, come on, there's loads of food I can eat, but they go, no, rice.
And you get rice and you get goat's cheese. Do you like those things?
I do like those things, but not when they're the only things.
The only things, yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, for you, my restaurant would serve risotto and goat's cheese tarts.
Perfect.
Yeah, and only those things. But obviously, that's only because I'm trying to make everyone stressed.
Yeah, and I think you should also sort of ask. You should have it so that the servers ask, "Have you got any allergies?" And then when people say yes, they just go good, and then they don't tell you if they're going to if you're going to get things with nuts in or not. They just.
You need to know what they are as well, of course. But
yeah.
They're weaker.
And it's just like the constant threat that they might have nuts in or fish in or something.
Yeah, no, that's. Oh, I like that. Hang on a moment.
Yeah,
make a note of that.
You go. I've got one other idea. Can I suggest that instead of carefully bringing the food to your table, that they throw it at you from a distance?
I mean, that sounds like fun. Actually,
is that a bit much?
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think people would start turning up. They'd start turning up in ponchos, wouldn't they? And then it'd be like this, like Splash Mountain or whatever it's called. They'd start turning up in places.
But there'd be food that would be fun like that. But then can you imagine like a hot soup would not be fun being thrown
Yeah.
at you? That would be
Or
stressful.
I mean, Jackie Potato.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting that
Hit you
whacking
in
off
the
your head.
face. It would be
Yeah.
awful. Yeah.
Hot
Yeah,
Jackie
that's true.
Potato. Hot Jackie Potato. And then they follow that indignity up with a handful of grated cheese.
Yeah.
and then individual beans.
Oh, that's wow. They just flick those at you. They just flick them in your eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in a row. They're in a row on the counter, and they're flicking. They're
Yeah.
going along, flicking one bean at a time.
That's nice. That's nice. Because I think like because in a spa they put like slice of cucumber on your face. In your a stressful restaurant they could flick beans in your hot beans into your eyes.
Good. I mean, so I'm feeling like I should have saved that for the actual treatment. Like I don't know, like there's an array of slices of things you can have on your plate, on your eyes, and you can choose them, but you might accidentally, because of the brightness of the light, choose some hot chilies or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, but you see, this is where you can cross because I think you've got to have branding, haven't you? You can have the spa and the restaurant can be under the same brand. You can have nice bits that cross over.
That's true. That is true. I think I would probably want. You know how the last thing that you see or hear, but bands frequently do their best song last, or what have you, the one that everyone loves.
Yes.
Part of me thinks that maybe it'd be worth giving them a nice pudding.
Oh.
Like the last thing you remember is that you had a nice treat at the end, like a go on the ice cream machine or whatever, and then you leave and you feel fond towards it, but you don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose my concern, I've got two worries here. One is, well, my main worry is if, like, your overall spa thing is that people are stressed so they keep their farts in, wouldn't they then have that pudding and just as they leave, they'd do the biggest, they'd, like, release everything they were holding in?
Yeah, I've not thought this through, have I?
Here's a thing. Here's an idea. If you're okay for more ideas, what about if they have a really nice pudding and they think, "Wow, this is actually okay," but then you give them the bill and the pudding is £4,000.
Oh, I like that. And they've got to do the washing up
Yeah, yeah,
as the final indignity.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Cool. Well, I hope that's helpful. I'm excited. I was going to say I'm excited maybe to visit your restaurant, but I don't know if I am. I might wear a sort of American football type suit and see if I can survive having beans flicked in my eyes. It could be a nice evening out for the family.
Yeah. So if anybody does fancy that, that's a Gastastrophe, and that's in all major towns and cities.
Wonderful.
Just look out for us. It's got the logo's a chef looking grump.
Yes, and I believe it's the worst reviewed place on TripAdvisor, isn't it?
Well, that's how you can find us. We brag about that on our windows.
Yeah. No stars. We have no stars. Wow, and no hygiene rating. Just
whoa. No, it's meticulously cleaned to a particular level on purpose.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's true. And also because half the people there have to come in and do the washing up after they've had a pudding. Yeah, that's
a particularly expensive pudding.
A very expensive pudding. Yeah. What an experience! Wow. Well, listen, Rob, it's such a joy having you back on the show. Already, I feel levels of expertise that we have not seen before, and insights into an anti-stress world. I've got a question that obviously I think you are the person that can answer, which is why I've asked you to come on the show again. But before we get there, how do you feel about a bit of admin?
Sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
of course.
Good.
Yeah.
You're very okay with that. That's you're obviously an admin professional.
Yeah, I am. I like to cross my I's, dot my T's, put a line under my G's for some reason.
Wow, right. And you do all that with crossed eyes?
Yeah, I cross my eyes, I put my fingers, roll my tongue. Yeah.
Wow, that's
make sure my hair's untidy.
Right.
I've been doing admin.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Well, I mean, listen, I've only got 2 admin questions for you, and I think, as I often say to guests, I think the second one is harder, but you see how you go. You take your time with them. You answer them how you need to. Um, so the first one is quite simply, what is this?
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
Someone left it outside our door.
Well, that's very troubling. That's one of the signed photos of my bottom that I leave lying around.
Is the signed photos of your what?
Of my bottom.
Right. Oh, I do think it looked. I was looking at it, especially next to your face. It's like there's some similarity, but not quite.
It's. I mean, obviously, part of me thinks that them being out in the world is okay, but then I realise now that leaving them in places or putting my bottom anywhere, a signed picture of my bottom anywhere, least of all on the internet, is probably not a good idea.
Well, you say that, but I think the fact you've signed it makes it much better than an anonymous bottom.
Anonymous bottoms, they could be anyone's bottom. That is true.
Well, exactly.
Also, I want the notion, the intention behind a signed photo of my bottom is that people who were to want a signed photo of my bottom could have one if they were to ask nicely, but only people who could have them. And I don't know why that was outside your building. Presumably, somebody who I gave a signed photo of my bottom to decide they didn't want it anymore.
Yeah,
Furious.
it might be because. Well, it might also be because I ordered one on Amazon and it was just delivered. I don't think they sort of. Sometimes Amazon they just leave the packets outside, so I think that's what it was.
Well, it's very troubling. This is very troubling. I don't like the idea of my bottom just being left outside people's houses. Cold.
Yes, yeah. I mean, this is an interesting thing because you are one of the few people who does have a celebrity bottom, and often people do recognise you by your bottom rather than your face.
Well, do you know what I like? It's like hand models, isn't it? Like I just like that. I've got I can pass incognito. Like I'm. Yeah. In fact, one of your listeners right now, I'm sitting right next to them. I can tell they're listening to this. And so just turn to your right and say hello. If I say hello back, yeah, that's me.
Wow, that's amazing.
But you wouldn't recognise me because I've got trousers on because it's the public.
Yes, and often I understand you sort of wear 6 or 7 pairs of pants at once so that people can't recognise you in the supermarket, or you sort of put extra things in your bum pockets so that your bum looks different. You've
changes
got
the shape.
Tactics.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
Problem is, I can't really go to the beach.
Tricky.
That's my main. That's my main disappointment, really. And my inability to go to the beach and swimming is probably why I've got it in for spas.
Yes, I can see that. And I mean, you've got problems at the beach where you even sit on sand, it will leave a bum print, and everyone will go, wow, he's been here with his bum.
Yeah, and then the plaque would be put by it. And,
yeah.
And then before you knew it, the beach would be all blue plaque, wouldn't it?
That's true. Which is, it's awful when that happens. But you did famously put your bum in the concrete in Hollywood, didn't you? And that's you've got a Hollywood star.
I did. I was a bit annoyed because everybody else seems to have it out front of that Chinese cinema, and my cement was by the bins in the alley to the side of the, and they said no, this is a good spot. We're running out of spot around the front, and we can't move. What's his name? Deadpool. Ryan, what's his face? We can't move him.
Ryan, what's his face? That's the name. Yeah.
Ryan, what's his face? Yeah. So you'll have to go around the back here by the other Ryan, what's his face?
Yes, there's several. I think there are several. There's quite a few Ryan what's his faces that are very famous. It's quite difficult to know which one is which. But I thought there was. See, now it's interesting you said, because I thought it was deliberate. I thought that because it was your behind, they put it behind the cinema.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah,
I never thought. No, that makes sense. Because when they only get someone to do one hand, that's on that side of the building, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
I hope my PA hasn't already sent that letter then.
Oh, that's awkward. That's very awkward. By letter, do you mean was it just a signed photograph of your bottom?
I think I know what's happened here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I know what's happened. You do have a similar address, don't you, to
Right. Yes,
Man's
I do.
Chinese Theatre?
I do. I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I have Tiernan's Fleas Theatre, and it often gets confused. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
very
That's
tricky.
what's happened there. Well, then you're welcome to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, put it up. I don't know if you've got a wall of bottoms or famous body parts, but yeah, put it there. That's all right. My
Yeah,
blessing
well,
for
it's
you.
thank you. That's very kind of you. It is because I've got my address is very similar to the Man's Chinese Theatre. It does. I do have several handprints from different Ryan what's its names, sort of all over the place, and I will gladly add your signed bottom picture into the frames next to them. That's very exciting. Thank you.
Oh well, all's well that ends well then.
Yes, indeed, it absolutely ends well. Yes, well ends,
My
and
my end as well.
your end as well. Yeah, well, I'm pleased to hear. I'm pleased to hear. It'd be sad if it was unwell, and I think it would make this recording very difficult for you. Well, listen, Rob, thank you for solving that mystery, which was a mystery, but now it's very clear. The second admin question, I think this is harder, but as I said, see how you go. Rob, would you rather be so good at shark impressions that they closed beaches when you went to them, or that everyone thinks you're actually a chicken doing a human impression?
They're not based at all on the previous discussion.
Yes, well, I was going to say, because obviously we know you don't go to beaches, but we have to presume that were you to, or in fact, any other areas that sharks would not be welcome at,
The canal,
I suppose.
you
Yeah,
know, the
supermarkets.
Lido.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the cinema. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I you see, I think that I would rather, not just based on the whole beach thing, but I think I would rather everyone be under the misapprehension that I am a chicken.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
But
D- be-
and doing a very good human, like they would be thinking, "Wow, that chicken's really, really doing a brilliant disguise as a human."
but he's also good at these other things, despite just being a chicken.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I
Would you
think,
like that because it's quite a low bar? That like you can really raise expectations from that point.
yeah, I think giving somebody the chance to underestimate you is not a bad thing.
Hmm.
I think, I think. I mean, having said that, there have been some brilliant chickens, haven't there, throughout history that we need to remember. You know, there's I mean, who won World War Two? That was famously a
Yes,
chicken, wasn't it?
it was a
Um,
chicken. You're right. Yes,
yeah,
yes, it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Leonardo da Vinci, he was a chicken.
he was.
Sorry,
That's very
excuse
true.
me. She was a chicken.
She was a chicken. You're
Uh,
right.
I
Yes,
do
yes.
apologise.
Gosh, yes. Phew, that
And
was a
that,
close one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look actually closely into the background of Mona Lisa, you can see allusions to
Yes.
Leonardo's chickenhood. You know.
Yes, that's very true, isn't it? And Ernest Shackleton, of course, was actually three chickens wearing a big jacket.
Yeah, yeah, and that's. I mean, if they'd have just walked side by side, they'd probably got there quicker, wouldn't they?
Would have got there a lot quicker. Yes, they didn't
Yeah.
think that through. But it's tricky, I suppose. Yeah, you're
There we
right.
are.
There's a lot of famous chickens. I think sort of several ancient emperors. Actually, when you look back at them, you realise they were chickens.
Yeah, yeah. Tutankhamun, he was a
Yep,
chicken.
yep. Originally
Buried
called.
in not a sarcophagus. I don't know where they got that story from. They buried him in a series of small buckets.
Yes, yes, that's right. Family buckets. Yes. That's right. Yeah, I believe because originally Tutankhamun was called Cluckenkamin, wasn't he?
Cluck and come in. Yes,
Yes,
that
that's
is.
right. Yes,
That
that's
is
right.
what
And then
it
they
was
they
called.
yeah. Yeah. And it's very obvious. So I suppose you're right. If people thought of you as a chicken being disguised as human, they might think, "Wow, you're probably a chicken destined for greatness."
I, yeah, I think what tends to happen is we get so used to this notion that there are that many chickens, and that we underestimate them all the time, and then every now and again one just stumbles along into greatness. I say stumbles; they probably have a life plan, and or they're born into a family.
Yes.
I mean, we're all born into a family, aren't we? One way or
I think
another.
so. I don't think you have a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things
So
you can't really opt out of. Yeah.
up to a certain age, and then you can. You can opt
Yes,
out.
but I mean, at the initial, you can't stop them being born into a family. That's sort of
No,
you don't.
no.
There should be a vote. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we shouldn't sleep on chickens anymore. I think
Sure.
we should be aware that they are. So yeah, I think knowing that there is this long history of celebrating chickens,
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Well, I appreciate you very quickly coming to an answer. I suppose the one question I do have for you is: would you not be worried about getting attacked by foxes?
I'm worried about that now as a man.
Sure, right, sure. So it wouldn't change.
They wouldn't change. Foxes are generally a night creature, aren't they? And I make sure I'm home for a reasonable bedtime, so I'm not that
That's
worried.
nice. That's nice. Would you go home to a coop or a roost, or would you just go home because you're not actually a chicken?
I'm not actually a chicken. Has it started
Sure.
already? Do you
I don't
think it
know.
already?
It's what people say about you. It's so Rob's gone home to roost. That's what they always say. And
I'm not saying I don't do that. I do that. I just
sure.
do it in a regular person house.
Person house, yes, of
A
course.
person house.
Sure, if you say so.
No, I do.
Well, thank
I do.
you.
I'm not convinced that you believe me.
You're just very good at this chicken. It's very hard to tell. I'm just saying. But hey, listen, thank you again for answering both those admin questions. One of which I have to say was almost it was just something I needed to ask because I have been unsure since I've known you whether you are a chicken or a person. But Rob, this brings us to the main question for today. And this has been sent in by Anonymous, which as we sort of said earlier, especially. It's probably I don't know why they're being so suspicious about this. I mean, you sign photos of your bottom, you don't make them anonymous, but this person is so anonymous they won't even give us their name. They're obviously some sort of spy secret, and maybe there's someone very, very famous like Ryan. What's its name?
Is there a possibility that this is a code activation phrase then? Whatever this question is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like if there's if I say the wrong thing now, am I gonna, start a fight between Tesco's and Aldi or something?
I mean, that may well be where this goes. We don't know, and I suppose we won't directly know it was you until it happens either. So, this could be dangerous. Well, I didn't even think about the dangerous levels of this question, and this is quite a big question as well. I mean, let me see how you feel about this. I can hear the dogs and foxes in the background surrounding your house because they think you might be a chicken. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I think for now.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just maybe close the shutters. Right. So this question from Anonymous, and Rob, see how you feel about this. But the question is, who is Dad Duck from Quacker?
Oh, it's like a television question.
Is that right? I've never seen Quacker. What was Quacker? Is it like a crime show or a?
Yeah. I think it was heavily influenced by a Robbie Coltrane show from the 90s.
Yes. I'm sure
because
very aware of, yes.
It essentially told the story of a brilliant duck, quite bird heavy. This particular episode,
right? Yeah, it's quite a large duck. Yes.
And this particular brilliant large duck was also a criminal psychologist.
Right. Wow.
He was a quacker, and he would profile criminals based on their crimes, and it would help the duck police find their duck.
Right. Yes, right. He would quack the case. Yes.
He would quack the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard
And
a
he
lot
was, I
about
mean,
it.
he was
It's
a
very
trouble.
famous. Yeah,
He was a troubled man. He was a troubled duck.
Troubled Duck. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he got drinking problems. The water would just come out the sides of his bill.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
and
Always on the bread. Just too much bread, wasn't it?
too much bread. Too much bread. He was also a gambler, as I understand it. You know,
Mm.
going up to the roulette tables.
Which is a problem because as a duck as well, you can't see. Like you're not tall enough to see over a roulette table, so
I
you've
suppose
got
it.
that issue.
Yeah, I've got that issue. But then, is that not just a distraction since it's a game of chance?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so
Hard.
the duck from Quacker is Dra- B- Drakey Coltrane.
Drakey Coltrane, right? Of course. Which, and I suppose we should just say for any listeners that are worried about the state of this duck with this sort of issues with bread and roulette tables, that it was it was a show. It was Drakey Coltrane was a exceptionally brilliant acting duck.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, excellent stuff. Yeah, you. In his day, you would have seen him, taking on Shakespeare, and his
Like
Lear
in a
was
fight, you mean?
amazing.
Right?
I'm sorry, not in
Do
a
you mean
fight. No,
taking on
no,
Shakespeare in a fight? Right. Okay. Right. No.
saying
Not
his
fighting
words.
Shakespeare. Right. Saying
Saying
his word. Right. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, his King Lear was, as I understand it, quite moving.
Wow. 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 Is
Yeah.
that? Am I right in thinking he did? It wasn't. He did that whole theatre series of performances called Drakespeare, which was basically duck versions of
Yeah, yeah,
Shakespeare. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
If 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 seed be the food of love, peck on.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's really that's really beautiful. Yeah. Is this a bill I see before me? Yes, it is. It's always a bill. Wasn't that one of the?
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
one of the
Because
lines as well? Yeah,
they're stick out. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exceptional actor. I'm slightly. I have to say, Robert, I'm slightly concerned as why Anonymous needs to ask this question when I'd have thought it was something that's quite easy to find out based on just
off
how
of
famous Drakey Coltrane was. Yeah.
Internet Movie Duck Internet Movie Duck database.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah. IMDb.
Did you?
IMDb. Yeah, yeah. So why do you think? Why is Anonymous having problems with this?
I don't know. Maybe they've got a poor internet connection, or well, I think questions, because before, what would happen is you'd be sitting at a table with your pals, and a question would come up, and you go, "Oh, who was it? Who was the main one in Quacker?" And then you'd talk it out, and then you'd have a lovely chat, and you'd meander off into different avenues, and then eventually you come back to it. So maybe this is Anonymous's way of saying, look, put your phone down. Stop.
That's nice.
Stop Googling it. Maybe let yourself remember a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or it could just be that it is a code phrase and I've just set off some sort of conflict.
Well, it could be. I mean, I also wondered, and this is probably quite a controversial thing to say. I wondered if the person sending in the message is Drakey Coltrane trying to boost his profile. Because let's face it, we haven't seen him in anything for a while.
We've not, have we? We've not. Unless he's got a new thing coming out.
And this is free publicity.
It is, yeah. It is. Hang on. Let me have a quick look on IMDb.
Okay, yeah. You go for it.
Hang on. Oh, there's a Quacker Christmas special coming on.
Oh, of course.
Of
course.
He's got a Christmas special. That's what it is. He's
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is free publicity. He's done it again. He's notorious for this sort of thing.
He is. He's I wouldn't go so far as to say a menace. He's a brilliant actor. But we should see it coming. Really. He's
should have seen it coming. But it's exactly the sort of I've heard rumors about how people would go to ponds to see the ducks, and they just think, well, these ducks are quite normal. And then, of course, one of them turns out to be Drake Coltrane. He stands in the middle of the little island in the pond, does a performance, and announces his new show. And everyone's like, "Come on, mate, we were just here to feed the ducks."
He's like the duck actor version of Banksy, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly. Yes, yes, yeah.
He's the
Except, yeah, people have seen his face though, which is
yeah.
different.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay then. The duck actor version of Simon Brodkin.
So right. So for the listeners who don't know Simon Brookin, a sort of a famous person who does stunts
Does a bit of a
for
prank on someone.
does a bit of a prank. Yeah, so like a prank. So Drakey Coltrane, known for his pranks, known for his acting.
There's probably a better reference for the TikTok generation, and I don't know what that is because I'm too busy looking after my spars.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you're busy, isn't it, to keep up with, and also, a lot of these people you don't really know who they are until you get pranked, and by then it's too late, So
that is the way to warm to somebody, though, isn't it? Like if you go, you're all stressed, which I love.
Oh yeah.
And then someone stops you and goes, "Hey, look over there," and then you go, "Oh, it's the camera and everything's fine."
Is that?
Yeah.
I mean, speaking about this, is this something you'd consider? Would you consider having Drake Coltrane or someone similar at your spa to make people constantly on edge? They might be about to get pranked.
Well, only if he didn't do the last bit.
Sure.
And calm everyone down.
Yes, of course. Yeah, good point. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I just wonder if also not only has he got the Christmas special, he's tried to worm his way into your business.
Yeah,
waddle his way. Yeah.
And I would never trust him. I'd think he was just a prank the whole time.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to be sure. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I suppose we just have to wait and see whether or not Tesco fight Aldi or Drakey Coltrane admits to putting some publicity stunts.
Well, we just have to wait till Christmas, won't we? Have to wait till Christmas.
Yeah, I have to wait till Christmas 2027. Yeah, well, good luck with finding out, and it's been great having you on the show, Rob. Thank you for answering Anonymous's question, even if Anonymous may well be setting you a trap / putting a publicity stunt. And have you got much yourself coming up over the next 2,000-3,000 millennia?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on. It was a pleasure. I'm just going to look at some more disappointing treasure holes, to be honest. I mean, nice. Well, hopefully not disappointing, but I'm going to go and I've got a whole summer filled with pirate treasure.
Nice. Wow, yeah. It's whole just filled with it.
Well, I mean, there's travelling in between.
Sure, right, sure, yeah.
And the digging.
Yeah, that. I mean, I don't know if this is of any help, but I have heard that if you find an X, then that tends to mark the spot. What
I've found doesn't work though is if you just draw an X, there isn't immediately treasure underneath it.
Oh, is that right? Okay, right. Because I often sort of looked at noughts and crosses and thought maybe if you just dig where all the tiny crosses are, you'd get little bits of treasure.
Teeny bits of treasure, mate. I mean, yeah. Sadly, it doesn't work. No.
Unbelievable. More lies.
What I want to know is what's underneath. Where on top of a building where the helicopters land. How there's a big H.
Yeah.
What's underneath there?
X marks the spot. What does H?
H mark.
Yeah. Horace.
Horace is under there.
Maybe someone should really help Horace out. Well, look, listen. I think if you once you found your treasure, if you get digging where the H's are, let us know what's underneath, and do report back. It's very important. Very important information. Definitely, thank you. And then if you could also then go to car parks, and there's various signs on different bays there. Maybe just dig those up and let us know. Let us know what's going on. That'd be really
anything that's written on the ground. You want to know what's underneath?
Bus stops, school crossings. Yeah, we need to know. It's very important. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You
Take care,
are
Rob.
absolutely welcome. Thank you very much for having me. Bye now.
These guys are so loud.
Thanks so much to Rob for having time to answer Anonymous's important question in between all his other many, many jobs, like running the anti-spa. And Anonymous, I do hope you liked your answer. If not, please do send any complaints you have by C-mail, and hopefully a person doing a shark impression will eat it and I'll never have to see it. If you'd like to send in a question that you need to have answered, or you want to send in anything else at all, including your own made-up Dr. joke to enter our current competition, then please get your idle dunderheads, I'm so sorry, I mean grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. Do also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for all of our live shows and many other things too. Okay, so it's very strange, but while you were listening to the most important bit, I took a peek outside, and it seems lots of things have just keeled over, fallen over. That's right, lampposts, trees, buildings, people, everything just keeps... Oh, that was a rhinoceros, that looked tricky. It's a very strange thing to happen, though, unless... Hang on, what is the date today? Where's my Comedy Club for Kids HQ calendar? It's around here somewhere, I know. Oh no, it might be under all the new uber stinky hippos. Okay, here goes. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Run away from the hippos. Oh, right, it says on the calendar it's September, which means it's autumn. But this calendar is from that tiny little country called America, where they call it... fall! Of course, I forgot this happens if I buy an American calendar. I must remember to get Danish ones where the season is called fald, as then all my stuff gets folded really nicely. And I must never ever buy that calendar in French ever again, because their word for autumn is shoot, like a big water slide. That was an awful year. So I guess, oh no, if it's fall, it's going to be my go any minute. Have a lovely fall. Bye. You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.